Now, the next thing is basically how to fix your AirPods if they're not charging or if they're not functioning properly, and aka charging. Now, this can happen for a couple of different reasons. Now, let's make our way down to this bottom hole. Typically, as you guys know, on the bottom of these machines, we have the lightning ports right here. What this allows us to do is plug in our charger right here, and it'll end up functioning and working properly. However, sometimes there can be, like I said before, debris, stuff just randomly built in and caked up in there. And typically what happens here is that over time, not within one day, but over time, this can actually build up and cause even more issues and eventually cause these specific chargers to not even be able to charge our AirPods. Now, this is a huge issue because obviously you'll not be able to charge it. So what I would recommend doing here is getting some sort of Q-tip or getting some sort of, cleaning material, cotton swab, anything that can fit in there. I've heard toothpicks before too, and kind of, scrape in there very, very lightly. You don't want to mess up anything, and just kind of get something in there and then pry it out. Do not use anything metal. Do not use like a, SIM card eject tool or anything like that. Use like a toothpick or some type of plastic, prying tool in there and scrape out anything that's in there. Eventually you'll see that you have a bunch of cotton and random stuff built in there. So that's the very first thing I would recommend doing in that case. Then I would go ahead and recommend, turning on your AirPods again and seeing if they function. I guarantee you in this case, they'll end up charging. Typically, if you see that orange light here, that means they're charged. If it's green, typically it's, fully charged. So that's the very first thing I would recommend doing if they're still not charging. Now, if it's the actual AirPods that aren't charging in the case, then what I would recommend doing here is taking out your AirPods and making sure everything is cleaned out within your AirPods. Taking that same toothpicks, taking that same cotton swab and cleaning out everything from within here, and then taking the cotton swab and then fully prying it in there and pulling out anything you can. Typically, they should be clean. There shouldn't be a bunch of earwax in there or anything like that. And if it's set and if it's clean, I'd recommend taking your AirPods, cleaning out the microphones at the bottom again one more time, and plugging them straight in. Typically, this should end up fixing those specific issues. So your AirPods case should end up charging with this specific thing, but your AirPods themselves should also end up charging in this specific situation as well.